What's up, Spartans? This is JAG aka Leonidas, and on today's video I'm going to be showing you an amazing XBow deck for Arena 6 and 7. Now, whether you're new to the channel or you've come to this video from my other Arena decks, I'm going to show you how to use this deck to win consistently. A couple things before we start. 1. Go watch my video on how to tornado, as it will be very helpful in mastering this deck. This deck is tricky to learn, but very strong. So I highly recommend watching the entire video of this recording and the tornado one as well. Now, number 2, this deck may or may not work for you. I pushed from 2,000 trophies to just before Arena 8, and I went undefeated. And we're just going to show a little bit proof there, just as always. So as you can see, I went completely undefeated up to when I started at 2,000 right there. Now, for the deck, you're going to want all your card levels around the level 7 range or higher, and your king tower around level 7 to 8 to stand a chance. You'll notice I was a level 8 king tower, which was slightly above average, but I played with level 7 cards for the most part, which is generally lower than most of the players that I faced. Now, I did that for a reason, just to show that the deck works even when under leveled, where it's not uncommon to find legendaries you'll face at level 9 or a lot of level 8 cards that are common as well. Now, number 3, you'll notice my current arena shows that I'm Arena 7. I did that so I can make different types of decks for each arena level, as Trophy Road won't let you drop arenas anymore, so I stopped at 1 win before Arena 8 so I can just do some more decks at this arena. Now, for today, I have 4 videos to show you. The first replay shows the deck strategy and how to stop the Loon and the Prince. The second is a quick replay showing how to stop a push using the Giant Skeleton. The third replay shows multiple key ways to use this deck and kind of how just different scenarios you can use it, because it's very versatile, this deck. You can use it in multiple ways. And the fourth replay is going to show how to defend against constant pressure and how to stop the Inferno Dragon, which is going to be the biggest threat to this deck. Now, if you have questions on how to use or face different cards, pop them in the comments down below and I'll be answering to help you guys out. So let's begin. Here's the deck. I will pin this deck in the comments below, along with what cards you can replace each with. You'll see the Giant Skeleton and the XBow are your win conditions, and the average elixir is around 3.6. So finally, let's start and get to the replays. Alright, so this is the first replay, and for this I wanted to show the deck strategy for this and what you want to do ideally in a scenario, and then I'll be showing some other things on the non-ideal scenarios later on. So the main thing for this deck, it's 3.6 average elixir. You have high elixir cards, which is the Giant Skeleton there, and the XBow. You're not going to be able to play them ideally or most likely when it's not double elixir. So the goal for this deck is to defend during single elixir, wait till the 1 minute mark, and then this deck becomes extremely powerful and becomes a beast when it's the double elixir mark. Now here, they didn't defend very properly, let my Giant Skeleton get to the tower, so that works perfect. It does massive damage when it's there. If you want to stop the balloon, Tornado is your best bet in this deck, especially if you can pair it with the Baby Dragon. There's no way they're touching you. In fact, this deck is pretty powerful against balloon decks, so you don't have to worry about that. And I'll be showing later Golem one as well, because that's probably another big defense against this, is the Golem and the Inferno. So like I said, ideally for this deck, unless you can get a big counter push where you can save a lot of elixir, gather up on against them, then you're going to want to just pretty much play defensive, try and stop any pushes. The Giant Skeleton there is a great way to stop the push. You drop one of those, and anything in its way, is when it defends, is going to come into the bomb and is going to blow up, and you can just completely destroy push. So use that to defend well, and that will get you to the 1 minute mark here. I saw that had a bit of an advantage. That's why you saw me play the XBow early, but ideally you don't want to. Again, defend, use the Giant Skeleton to defend, and then when you get to the 1 minute mark where you get that double elixir, now you're going to be extremely powerful, and they're going to have a very tough time even stopping you, period. So here I'm just dropping the Skeleton Army, dropping the Barb Barrel with the Baby Dragon. I had a little bit of elixir to burn, so was trying to just kind of do a little bit of an offensive push, kind of just waiting for that double elixir, like I said before. So now I'm going to drop those archers, drop that Giant Skeleton. Ideally, I wanted to get that XBow in, but they dropped the Loon on the other side, so I'm going to use that Tornado, and then I'm going to have to use that Zap as well, just to stop it from getting that extra hit on there. But not too much of a big issue, like I said. Probably shouldn't have used the Barb Barrel there, as the Witch was going to go to the Giant Bomb anyways, but works out, and I'm still able to stop it. Skarmy you can use on the Prince there. That'll stop it well. Just be careful if they have Zap like he has there. It can completely screw up your defense. But in that case, I knew that it was a little on the late side. It wasn't going to have to. So here's where you're going to see the ideal deck strategy. Double Elixir, you want to get that Giant Skeleton in just before the XBow. So like you see, drop the Giant Skeleton at the back. It will move forward, then drop the XBow in behind. And what you're going to see is there's not much they can honestly do. If they try and defend that Giant Skeleton, they're going to get caught in the bomb. As you see there, it's going to destroy any defending troops they have, and your XBow is just going to keep whittling away. It's either going to go at their troops, then when their troops die, it's going to hit the tower, or it's going to be already hitting at the tower. And that is the ideal deck strategy that you're going to want to do on this one. So this is going to be the second replay. All I wanted to show in this is how to stop a push well with the Giant Skeleton. We're going to try and keep it short, and then that way we can get to the other ones. But for this one, it's also going to show the Golem. I don't defend ideally against the Golem how I should, so I'll mention that as well here. And but we'll go from there. So Giant Skeleton is great on the push, especially since you're trying to get to that double elixir mark, which is the 1 minute. So drop that Giant Skeleton on the same side as their push. And ideally, you saw the XBow go on the right there. You're going to want to drop that XBow in the middle between the two towers. That way, it can then shoot the Golem from far and do damage, and hopefully it'll break before you even get to your tower. I had the Giant Skeleton first, didn't get the XBow till after, so wasn't too much worried about that. But if you have just the XBow and not the Giant Skeleton, drop it in the middle early on and just defend against the Witch, against the Golem. That'll be your goal. And if you have the Giant Skeleton, you don't have the XBow like I did, drop it at the back and just drop it on the same lane. And then anything in that lane that's going to destroy it will walk into the giant bomb and then receive massive damage. So I was just kind of setting that up, and that's really what you want to do. Nothing too much more than that. Again, you're going to see the same thing here. Use the Giant Skeleton. It'll stop all the troops on that side. Even if they kill it, it's not a big deal. There's no need to overcommit because they're just going to get destroyed by the bomb. So here's the third replay, and this one, what I wanted to do was actually, well, one, you can see the new tower skin there. That was actually really early on getting that. And then, but the main thing is this deck has multiple ways you can use it. So you can use, like I've been saying already, use it in double elixir. That's great. You can use the Giant Skeleton, as you're going to see here, to stop a big push. Make it nice and easy. They got a Night Witch and the Witch, and one Giant Skeleton is going to be able to stop all of that, no problem. I dropped the Baby Dragon there because I knew that I needed to get the Skeleton a little bit higher up just to defend the tower, and I figured they were going to drop something in behind just to play careful. Another way you can do and use this deck is, as you saw there, they use the Tornado to kind of collect all the troops together, and the Baby Dragon has Splash, so it'll be able to do damage to all of them at once. So you can actually use that move with this deck that you have, since you got the Baby Dragon and the Tornado. Collect them all together, and you'll be able to do massive damage with essentially just those two cards. Another big move you can do, which you're gonna, I'm not sure if you see it in this video, but I do often, is that if you have the Giant Skeleton and they're defending against it, or they have a big push or something like that and they kill it and they're moving on, you can actually use the Tornado to drag all the troops to the Giant Skeleton and receive it'll essentially kill all the troops that they have on the attacking end. So that's a pretty good defensive move as well, and that can work. As far as offensive strategy, you can use the Giant Skeleton, get it to the tower. You can use the XBow. I mean, you got your Zap to stop anything like Skarmy-wise, etc. Like there's a lot of options you can use with this, and hopefully this replay, watch a little carefully, and you'll be able to pick up on a few of them. So we're gonna let the elixir slide a bit. I'm gonna speed this up just a tad till we can at least get a first move, because there was a little bit of a lull there. Okay, so we'll go back to single time. So as you can see, drop that Giant Skeleton on the back, get into double elixir now. Goal is to get that XBow in behind it. Here I'm dropping the archers mainly because there's just too many troops. It's it'd be better to have the Baby Dragon and the archers and then putting the XBow in there. And as you can see, I now use the Tornado where I collect all the troops together. Baby Dragon does splash damage, and now I'm able to get massive damage there. I drop the XBow because I see that wizard over there, and I know that XBow is going to be able to take them out, and now it's free on the tower, as you can see. And here I'm not even going to worry because you can use the Barb barrel to stop anything like the Skeleton Army. It's great for the Goblin barrel. It's great for the Witch. I mean, all the cards are very versatile. You can use them in multiple ways. And yeah, hopefully this deck at least gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you can do with it. And it's going to take a bit of practicing and just a bit of remembering, but it's very powerful. And I mean, balloon decks don't really stand a chance, just as you can see right there. Again, Tornado with the baby dragon, XBow behind the skeleton, our giant skeleton, and if they even try to defend that, the giant skeleton stops anything trying to stop the XBows. So here's the fourth replay, and normally I only do 3 just to try and keep it on the short side, but this one I really want everyone to do well in, and it takes a little bit more replays and a little bit more to see. So this fourth replay is showing 2 things. 1, the Inferno Dragon, how to stop it, and 2, I'm basically under constant pressure the whole part of this game. And before double elixir, it is very hard with this deck to do well. So you really have to defend well. And one of that is going to be utilizing the giant skeleton to defend perfectly. So in this case, you saw me drop the giant skeleton right off the bat because I knew if the Inferno Dragon took it out, it wasn't too much of an issue. It would be able to stop maybe the Hog and the Inferno definitely. But I dropped the skeleton army right off the bat in front of it because that way then it would be shooting the... It would try to attack the skeleton army instead of the giant skeleton to keep it up a little longer. In this case, I'm kind of on my back heels for the whole part of the game. I really can't collect my elixir. I can't really take my time. I've got to kind of defend and try and stop that tower from being taken out. You really don't want one tower taken because it becomes very hard then with the XBow to try and stop it, because then they can put troops on your side to actually hit it. So keep those 2 towers up. In this case, I'm actually able to get the giant skeleton to the tower using the zap. If you see the Inferno Dragon and you use the zap, it's going to reset its kind of like, I don't know, hyper attack. And basically, you're going to be able to then get more time where you're going to be able to move that troop up forward. So if you see there's the Inferno Dragon, then make sure you save the zap for it. And that way you'll probably be able to get your giant skeleton even further and do a bit of damage, especially before the double elixir time. So now we're getting close to that. It's like I said, it's just defend, 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 and really get used to using the giant skeleton well. So here we're gonna actually speed this up, and I'm just gonna do double elixir is coming up now. All right, so we'll go back to single, and that'll finish it off. The skeleton army is great for the Inferno Dragon. It's very slow. It locks onto one target, and with many troops like that, it doesn't do much damage as well. So now that it's kind of out of cycle, this is going to be a good time to do a push. I'm going to throw that Barb barrel up in front, so tower's going to lock into that instead of the giant skeleton. As you see, I use the zap again. Keep that giant skeleton alive, and it gets to the tower and now does major damage, and that's 1 tower down, and really at this point all I have to defend for the 471. And I really want to show this replay, like I said, because I was under constant pressure from the beginning, and this deck doesn't become powerful until the double elixir time. So it was just kind of giving you an idea. If they're attacking you a lot, this is how you're going to defend. This is how you're going to win that match. And other than that, it's going to be a good game, and that is going to be the end of the 4th video. So that's it. Hopefully this deck helps, and if it doesn't work for you, I have others you can try, so give those a shot and check them out. You can see them in any of my playlists or in my videos as well. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video. This is going to be JAG signing off. Peace out. See you later.